Hey, what's up, guys? And this is the Titus Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Casper Mattresses, casper.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus to get $50 off your order. And now, here with the Armageddon update, Christopher Titus!
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And this one goes out to the rednecks playing Patriot by taking over bird-watching shacks in Oregon. It's really cute, guys, that you're playing Waco and Ruby Ridge LARP style. I'm really glad that you guys have finally found a use for your Army-Navy surplus camo pants and your apocalypse stove and water purifier. Just want you to know you're idiots. After doing some research and actually reading what the Constitution says in Article 4, quote, the Constitution shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory and other property belonging to the United States. See, so what you say you were standing up for, the Constitution, actually says something opposite that you say. You know, you guys sure do look cute out there, though, in your cowboy hats and semi-automatic weapons. Aw, are you 40 patriots going to stand up to the big bad government? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are occupying a building you all can't fit in. Why not get real and take over a real federal building? You know, when I was a kid, I used to play cops and robbers. Well, it was really cops in the domestic dispute, but you go with what you know. Now, these guys are playing Patriot, except it's imaginary. The federal government at one time owned almost all of America. Where Ammon Bundy and the rest of the Mickey Mouse militia are protesting the government land grab has always been owned by the government. No one took it, no one stole it. I mean, you know, after we cleared out the Indians with those warm smallpox blankets. But after that, it was all us. And as a matter of fact, the government has protected the amazingly beautiful Northwest from being clear-cut or the rivers being raped by a mega corporation. The government owned the land so they could settle America. The government gave a bunch of land to settlers in Oklahoma and managed it to make this amazing country we live in. These militia morons are such a waste. I used to have end-of-the-world apocalypse fear also, you know, a fear that a tyrannical government was going to round us all up in FEMA camps and put up posters of Hitler dropping a turd on the Constitution. And then I thought about it. The 400 million people in this country keep the wars paid for, pay Congress, keep the businesses alive, and the buses and trains running. If they put us in camps, the whole thing stops. They need us to keep the lights on and keep the Starbucks and Exxon humming along. We who get up and work every day are the real patriots, and we create the freedom we enjoy, not some 10-gallon-hatted asshole whose father took a $500,000 government loan after he let his cattle graze on government land for 10 years for free. Yeah, do you guys know this? Ammon Bundy's dad refused to pay for his cattle feeding on land he didn't own, even though the cost was 93% less than market. He basically had cows on food stamps. Then, after taking from the government for a decade, this dude said black people would be better off being slaves again, except he called them Negroes. Now this welfare rancher and his son want even more free stuff? Damn. Some people need to get a fucking job. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. We are back, 2016. Hello everyone, I am here. With me, as always, Bombshell Rae.
What's up, people?
Yeah, happy 2016.
Happy 2016.
Did you have a good holiday?
Sure.
Crix Mix was amazing, as it always is.
Sure.
And in the background, Fetus Farmer. Hey! He doesn't farm fetuses. His last name is Farmer. So, yeah, we've been getting a lot of complaints on Twitter. Where's the podcast? We took a couple weeks off. And
we streep.
Yeah, we streep.
Now we're back.
Well, Christmas is not streep. It's Christmas
Stress.
is stress, constant, money's leaving. And, you know, and as I tweeted out, I got the list of what everybody wanted for Christmas, and then I went to the store to see what it cost to see how much I actually love them. And, yeah. And it turns out
I did that too.
Turns out I don't love people as much as I thought. At least this year.
Not as much as they think I do, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Some pretty optimistic Crix Mix list. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, very optimistic. A lot of people are like, you must be from North Korea. You really are making stuff up at this point. So these guys are in the Northwest. It's amazing to me where we are in this country now. In the last 8 years, we've actually gone from 12% unemployment to 5%. You know, we killed bin Laden. We still got a lot of stuff going on, but I think the country's in a better place. And it's amazing to me that some people can't be okay with that. Like, some people really don't get that it's okay to be okay. China's tanking. We've got Europe tanking. America is the only country right now pretty much an economic engine for the world right now, which we've been in the past and finally got it back. No thanks to the black guy, which I say with sarcasm. So now we got these guys who there's nothing really to take over a protest. So what they did was they went into a wildlife preserve in Oregon and took over basically a bird watching guard shack thing. And there's 40 of them. They're armed. They all got long rifles and they're armed. Take on the federal government. That's why I called it Ruby Ridge LARP style. They really, really don't want to get shot. You know, I think they should just be running a Waco video on a big screen just outside the camp. You know that Waco, what happened in Waco? Just keep running that over and over. You guys up for this, Patriots?
Call it a motivational video.
They call themselves the Citizens for Constitutional Freedom.
That's correct.
Wow, you didn't raise your hand though.
He didn't actually.
Yeah,
he actually has started screaming from behind me.
Fetus, you got to see the look on her face. You're behind her. The look on her face when you just yelled that out was not good.
Actually, he responded before I did. Even
No,
he's ready for you this year.
But the look, it was the look. So they called themselves the what? Send out. Okay, yes, Fetus.
The Citizens for Constitutional Freedom.
Yeah, but you have to. Shouldn't you read the Constitution before you name yourself?
I think maybe you
after
could end that sentence at read. Shouldn't you read? We could solve a lot of problems in this country if people would just read.
Read.
I don't even asking that you read a federal document or anything like that. Like, just read. Get some Archie comics. Start there.
Yeah, and then move up to In Touch magazine.
You can learn a lot from Jughead.
Man, I actually used to have a "What Would Jughead Do" tattoo on my wrist. I had it taken out.
Think about it. It's brilliant, actually, for kids. All these like overly confident children, like the kids today are just—it's entirely too much optimism that your parents are putting in you. No, you're actually fat and you're ugly, and people aren't going to like you mostly when you go out into the world.
Right, and
you need to understand that. And who understood that better than Betty? Always number 2. Kind of cute. Always number 2. We learned a lot from those comics when I was growing up.
We actually did. And Moose, Moose didn't know. Moose, by the Moose in those comic books actually represents the current state of children
Who's
today.
Moose?
Don't you remember Moose?
See, nobody does.
Yeah,
that's my
he was
point.
the big dumb jock guy.
See what I mean?
Who actually never understood that he was dumb and going to end up a roofer on crystal meth.
Which he did, and that's why we don't remember him.
That's why Archie's comics got canceled, because a lot of the characters got put away.
Who'd you want to be, Reggie or Archie?
Oh, man.
It's an important question for people to ask
You know
themselves.
what? It's
Betty
weird,
or Veronica?
But that's just cool. Reggie, you want to be Archie.
You do?
Yeah. Well, because Reggie was a prick. Reggie was always backstabbing. Reggie was like Archie's ex-wife. Always backstabbing, always doing horrible stuff.
I don't think that was part of the Archie comics, actually. You're a little bit bitter. You're not one of those overly optimistic kids I was talking about.
Yes, I am, but I'm not Reggie. I'm Archie.
Are you? Yeah?
I'm Archie if Archie cried more in his room by himself.
In the fetal position.
yeah, totally.
Fetus wanted to be Betty, of course.
Betty, yeah. I never liked Veronica. I always wanted
Interesting.
Betty to no, Veronica was the dark-haired girl.
Yeah.
No, I liked the dark-haired girl.
You did.
I wanted to be Archie, but I liked the dark-haired girl.
You didn't like Betty? Everyone championed Betty. She was the underdog.
No.
Interesting. You know who I wanted to be? Veronica, of course. The bitch, the super hot, super rich, kind of bitchy, but gets everything she wants.
I'm glad you ended up that. Good for you. Hey, congratulations on getting your lifelong dream.
Thanks. It's a boob job, actually. But
yeah, well, it was a boob job, but it changed you.
God didn't give it to me. I'm going to go get it.
So the boob job turned you into Veronica.
Yeah, of course. Don't you remember? Even sketched, her chest was amazing. Ample bosom. That's what I'm saying.
You know that in the old days when drinking was much more prevalent, those artists sat there and drew naked versions of those cartoons.
Of course.
And you can get those on my website.
What?
I'm kidding. So,
who would you want to be? Jughead? You're more of a Jughead kind of dude,
I
right?
didn't really read Archie when I was a kid.
And there's the problem.
You know why? Because there's a little Jughead in him. You know why? Because Jughead would be the guy that would be playing X-Wing. He would be the guy that had a group of friends that went and played X-Wing.
He is one of those overly optimistic children that we're talking about.
He also likes big sandwiches.
He does.
See, look at he's nodding his head.
See, that was Jughead's whole platform was
he
big
had like
sandwiches.
a 3-foot sandwich.
I identify with that.
There you go.
Good. We've got him pegged.
That's a weird life goal. What are you into? Big sandwiches.
He was aspirational. He just didn't say. See, he could have said sandwich.
By the way, that was one of John Lennon's things too, but it was just down the list a bit.
Not just big.
Love, peace, harmony, big sandwiches. That was going to be his next album.
That's actually why he got killed.
Yeah, right.
Because of the sandwiches.
The anti-sandwich lobby.
Anti-salami Salamis, rights for salamis.
So these guys, so we've now gone off on the Archie Jughead bizarre track, and now we're going to be back to, you know why? Because I think Moose is Ammon Bundy. I think, you know, he's kind of a dumb guy, got involved in something he didn't want to be involved in. So Ammon Bundy is the son of Cliven Bundy. Cliven Bundy,
Who we talked about.
If you remember, we did an episode, he had his cattle grazing on government land for 10 years, had signed a contract to pay them, and refused to pay them. And he owed them like $1.8 million or something crazy like that. But so basically they fed his cattle for 10 years, which he sold and made money on, but refused to pay the government. It's amazing to me that these quote-unquote patriots are welfare children. You know, and people say, well, the government shouldn't own land. Well, here's the problem with that. You do understand if the government didn't own land, that we wouldn't have a country right now. The Louisiana Purchase, you know, when we beat back the Mexicans and took part of their country. If the government didn't own land, we would all be living pretty much either in England or and we'd all be in Baltimore, and the riot would have been a lot bigger.
Right.
So the government has owned land, and they gave it away. Our benevolent government. People forget this. The government gave away land so settlers could live.
Are you going way back? You're old school right now?
I am. I'm just saying that our government in the past has been benevolent, and these assholes are now saying, all right, you know, you guys got to give up the land. Well, okay, so who do we give it to? Who do we give it to? Who do we sell it to? Companies, corporations going to clear cut the Northwest, so we don't have the Northwest anymore, which is basically our American rainforest in a lot of ways. So, or do we let them destroy rivers like they did for many years on the East Coast? All right, Bombshell.
Okay. Here's my whole stand and it has nothing to do with Archie comics, surprisingly.
Oh, my God.
You're welcome.
Although,
actually,
that is a map for your life. You know that.
Pretty much.
Right. Because you did marry Archie with an attitude.
You kind of are Archie a little bit, now that I think about it.
I'm not much Reggie.
Those tic-tac-toe boards on your hair, and I find those very attractive. Pale, sort of freckly.
Almost a ginger, but not quite.
Kind of goofy.
I am Archie.
You're Archie. You drive a jalopy. So these people are protesting. So do you know what they're upset about?
They're upset because there's two other guys who basically the truth is, because they had witnesses, the reason they're serving jail time is because they lied. They said that they were doing a control fire on their land. It burned 139 acres of government land, and which there's a law on the books that says you have to do 5 years and
minimum.
Right. Well,
one got 3 months. One got a year and a day.
Right.
Federal prosecutors appealed that.
Right.
And it's not over, but they have reported.
Right. So the guys that they're protesting and standing up for, the other two guys are like, guys, just fucking shut up. We're just going to go finish our time. We're good. Relax. The guys that they're standing up for want them to sit down. That's the whole point of the whole thing. So Ammon Bundy just liked, I think, being in the media, which he is now.
Right.
Right.
Well, don't we all?
Well,
this is the day of reality television. Yeah, Ammon Bundy got his taste.
Do you know these are the same guys that if it was 40, if two black guys had burned down 130
Bam!
acres,
There he goes. Racism. Less than 10 minutes.
Two Mexican people had burned down. Two Muslim Americans had burned down 130 acres of government land. They would be like, "You're doing 5 years." There would be no issues with it at all. That's what I don't.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with you on that. I'm not a big fan of your
race card. I slapped on the race card.
Knee-jerk propensity to slap down the race card.
It is my ace of spades. The race card for me is the ace of spades. Whack! It is the royal flush of my arguments. I'm with you. I get it. I understand that.
It's oft overused, shall we say.
I'm a race card gunslinger. Let's just say that.
You are the race card boy who cried wolf, I would say.
No, I didn't. That's not what
Boy who cried.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. So,
Fetus is behind you. Every sentence we've just said in the last 40 seconds, Fetus is shaking his head behind you.
It's true.
You're not wrong.
Thank you. So I'm not
the way we're saying.
I'm not a fan of it, of just jumping there. However, I do know and see that it exists with even some personal friends of ours as soon as yesterday, as recent as. But I do think that in this instance you may be correct, because I would say that had, some sort of thuggy black dudes set fire to federal land on accidente, and they didn't get the minimum of 5 years, they got 3 months, I say that there would be a massive public outcry.
Right.
So, and people would actually leave their homes to rally behind it.
Right.
They wouldn't just stay at home and not care. So here was my whole stand.
Okay.
So these people, the Citizens for Constitutional Freedom,
Who haven't read the Constitution.
the CCF,
Uh-huh.
the cunty cockfighters, we'll
Right.
call them, they are,
Wow. Can I get that T-shirt?
yeah, next Titus podcast t-shirt, cunty cockfighters.
Wow.
Yeah, I would join that union, probably, just for the shirt, probably. Do you know what logo you could make with those 3 words?
Wow. Wow. Just a silhouette would be crazy.
It would just a, no shading required, just a pencil drawing. Yeah.
Right.
So they are saying that they're demanding that the federal government relinquish its claim on about 3/4 of all the land in the county where they live, right? They want it to be returned. That's their actual quote, return it to the local residents. But obviously the other residents there are like, no, we don't want anything to do with them. We don't want the land. We're good.
Shouldn't it get returned back to the Indians?
That's my whole stand. You just ripped it out from underneath me with a
But that's the dumbness of this country.
This land was taken, quote unquote, over 2 centuries ago.
Right.
So if we're gonna kick it Old Testament, we're gonna go way back.
Taken. There was beads and some blankets given up. It was an even trade. You know why? Because the Indians thought they were making a deal. Because the Indians never thought they owned the land. They thought it belonged to the world. So the Indians were like, you want the land? Sure, dude. We just fucking got over all these dudes. We got some dried deer meat too. These fucking guys are idiots.
When they settled this county, Harney County, it was over 2 centuries ago. They took the land from the indigenous people then. So I don't understand how these people feel like they have a claim.
Right.
Because they look super white.
Yeah. They have not that they have a claim, but they have such a short view of history and be this stupid. What I think is there's a lot of people that during the last 20 years we had a lot of this apocalypse talk, and over the years they've stored their garage full of apocalypse gear, and now they're looking at it and they go, either you need to have a yard sale, or we actually need to go take over a bird shack on a wildlife refuge. What are you guys up for? Well, hell, I'm off. It's Christmas. Let's go. That's what I think happened. I think there was some beer drunk, and Ammon Bundy is not even from Oregon.
This is a cautionary tale about free time.
Yeah, right?
Really?
That's it. The Oregon takeover is a cautionary tale about free time.
Really, too much free time for anyone is a dangerous thing. Like with you, if you don't have something to do for long enough, we find something for you to do because we know what might happen.
Yeah, and if I don't pick something big enough too, if it's something little, I get a little crazy. So speaking of that, we start filming Special Unit on February 15th, guys. We're going to film the movie now. Scared, but we're doing it. I'm excited. I'm not scared. I'm actually really excited. So one more thing. If you guys want to contribute to the budget of Special Unit, go to the website. You can do that, and we will put your names in the credit of the movie. Thanks. Go ahead.
That was
free time
out of nowhere.
Because I just keep
plug
picking.
haymaker.
No, because I keep picking. You're right. I pick. I'm not. I don't just say I'm going to write this special, then another special. I think I'm going to write this special. We're going to film it in April, but before that, let's film an entire movie. And how are we going to do it? I don't know. We're just going to do it. And that's why I don't. That's why you
Keeps
don't.
you occupied.
Right.
That's the whole point. That's the whole moral
why
of
I'm
the story.
not protesting a federal building right now because I got shit to
Which
do.
I think everyone that listens knows you could do like very
in a
easily.
second.
It's not a big stretch.
And I'd want to be spokesman. I'd be the guy. I would
Obviously.
be. I have so much Ammon Bundy in me when wrong is wrong. But I think this is stupid. So, and I always do research. I get in a lot of arguments with people on Twitter about stuff, and then they lay down this horrible their opinion, and then I go and I do research 50, 60 articles, and then I get the true story, and then I just start body slamming them, and I win a lot. So that's all I'm saying.
In your mind, you win a lot.
Oh no! I have fans that I have people that get on now Twitter, and they go. And by the way, now it's weird because I have to do more research. They're like, Titus is bitch slapping people. Come on! And I have this weird. There's this weird Twitter deathmatch thing that started to happen. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna lose. I'm sure I'm gonna lose. But the thing is, when I lose, I don't lose. I go, you know what? I just looked that up. You're absolutely right. Didn't know that. Thanks. And then they're like, and the people out there are like, yeah, well.
This, by the way, is stage 1 of your free time. This is what you do
Yeah,
during phase 1.
That's right.
And this phase even makes me uncomfortable.
When I'm not busy, I overtweet.
You overtweet,
I do
aggressively, angrily twat your day away, and it stresses me out.
Fetus, too. Fetus is like calling me, stop tweeting,
Yeah,
dude.
we get uncomfortable because we know that's phase 1. And phase 1 leads to phase 2, which we can't even say out loud.
I know.
The phase whose name must not be mentioned.
Well, that phase 2 is when I start gathering followers and setting a meeting place. And when you start gathering followers...
You're gathering followers in phase 1. That's what scares us.
No.
Phase 2 has to do with a meeting place, yes.
It has to do with a parking lot.
It's when you decide to meet your followers face to face.
You guys all know where the Walmart parking lot is. Meet me there. That's phase 2.
You're wearing a robe and sandals.
Kool-Aid.
There's Kool-Aid, peyote, there's whatever.
But with a long rifle. Bring your long rifles for
Yeah.
absolutely no reason. Why? Because we're going to go into a wildlife preserve.
You'll have your guitar, because that's what you do.
Yeah,
All right, everybody. First, I'm going to play Rachel, My Dear.
No. I never finished it. There's something there, though.
This is the start
There's
of something.
The one thing about this is these guys, if you look at the pictures of them, go online and look at the pictures of the Oregon stand-up. It's these guys in full camo, badass. They're in like full gear to literally take over a Somalia. And they're standing in a wildlife preserve around a shack. It is the most ridiculous, overblown, over-the-top thing that I have ever seen. On top of that, kid, turn around, look at that picture. There's a picture, we're looking at a picture of a guy wearing pretty much just all the khakis, and he's got a semi-automatic weapon. He's got knives on him. He's literally canned goods.
They're wearing the...
Is it scarves and what?
That's the Arabic scarf.
Yeah, he's wearing like an Iraqi, like an Arabic scarf, like a tribal
It's
scarf.
a desert scarf. They wear them when
a desert
they
scarf,
do it to
right?
keep the sand out of their face when they're in the desert. It doesn't make any sense right here because
In the snow, in the northwest snow, it doesn't. And actually, he's inaccurate with his outfit, which okay. Again, imagine that as
Oh my gosh. I just think maybe like just from a fashion standpoint
we are now-
alone,
yeah.
I take issue with this whole protest. Somebody has to.
yeah, a lot of plaid, a lot of camo.
Do you know what bothers me about that? Personally offends me about that?
Except everything.
Just the picture, what comes up inside of me, and people can argue this all they want, but what comes up inside of me is seeing these people in camouflage because they're not just wearing, like hunting clothing, they're actually wearing military wear, and I am personally offended as the daughter of a veteran who almost gave his life in that camouflage outfit that they have on.
Who got shot out of the air in a helicopter and barely survived, was in the hospital for 6 weeks.
Personally offended by that.
Yeah.
You don't get to wear that, and you probably shouldn't hold that flag up either because that doesn't represent what you're doing. That represents us as a nation.
Right, but I was reading an article about this, and someone said something really interesting. They said, someone who was an actual patriot wouldn't claim to be. They would just continue to actually live under the laws of the land. And by the way,
methinks he does protest too much.
To break the laws of the land, to break the laws of the Constitution, and then misquote the Constitution is pretty much the definition of not being a patriot.
We
You got it now? You got it?
I got it. I know it. Okay.
What's the next one?
We the
P.
We the P.
No. Pole.
We the people. Oh, we the people.
There you go.
There you go. I know it. I got it from here. I got it.
So go ahead.
Okay. We the people.
In. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Okay. We the people in
order.
Oh, order. That's it. You're right. Good job. In order. That's exactly right.
Okay, so start from the beginning.
Okay. I got this. All right. We the people in order to form a. This is in French. This is weird. We the people in order to form a. I know this. I learned this in school. See?
More.
Form a more. Form a more. Form
French.
a more.
Per.
Per. Form a more per. This is weird.
Perf.
Perfect. This is
Form a more perfect.
to form a more perfect. We the people, in order to form a more perfect.
You know what? I think you're ready to go protest. I think you're ready to take over the wildlife preserve.
Okay.
I think you know enough now.
I told you I knew that.
That's what a patriot does.
I feel very confident
You knew
about
that
this.
like the back of your hand,
Yep.
and
Thank you.
I was
Thank you.
incredibly impressed.
Thank you.
And I think our fetus it was good.
It's not easy, really, to retain all that I retain, and I appreciate your appreciation.
That was a tribute to Don Knotts. If you guys do not know the Andy Griffith Show, that bit where
Just look it up.
Oh, you have to
You'll
look it
thank
up.
us.
It is, and watch the whole thing. It is one of the best pieces of television comedy
Ever.
I have ever seen. Don Knotts. By the end of it, he starts out looking normal, and by the end, he looks like Nick Nolte's mugshot. He just says
hair is
it's
straight
crazy,
up.
and he's freaking
And
out.
Andy's helping him like you were helping me. Yeah,
it was
go
great.
look it up.
So
You'll thank us.
That was not our bit. We just totally
Steer.
tribute. We'll call it we
Tribute.
It was a
Yep.
tribute.
Yeah, so you should probably know if you're going to call yourself if you have Constitution in your name, you should carry it around. You should at least
You should be able to quote it. You should be able
Cliff
to
notes.
You should know it. So it's what it says. It says that the government is own land. It has the right to own land and territory and do with it for the good of the people. This land is being protected, so idiots, when camouflage, don't chop down all the trees or destroy the rivers.
like Northern California.
Which we've done in the past. If you look at the East Coast, they used to be able to light rivers on fire randomly because the government got involved, and now people have clean water and they live in nice places. So,
And we need trees to breathe and all that.
do I think the government? Yeah. Do I think the government is entirely benevolent? No, but that's a people problem. I think overall our country. And if you look at what's going on in the world right now, our country pretty much kicks ass. We don't have Oregon and Washington fighting at the border like Syria. We don't have, North Dakota and South Dakota going at each other like Saudi Arabia and Iran. We don't have people like they have in Russia that are just basically, it's the fucking Wild West in Russia. We actually have a pretty damn good country. And what bothers me is that, doesn't you think that someone who actually loves the country, sees how great it is, isn't that a patriot?
Yes.
Okay. So it's interesting. It's very Orwellian. And I think these douchebags need to get the fuck out. Hey, guys, you didn't take something cool, did you? You didn't step up to, like, the federal building, kick everybody out, and take a building over you.
Give them any idea.
You took over. They couldn't. They'd get taken out. And that's something. Let me ask you guys something. And Fetus, I want you in on this, too. Do you actually believe if there was 40 members of the Muslim Brotherhood who were dressed in camo, wearing long rifles, had stepped in there and taken over that? I mean, Muslim Brotherhood, like the black Americans, like not the real Muslim Brotherhood. But do you think that we'd be the FBI and everybody would have waited this long? No. It'd be, and the look on his face is weird. He's like, no.
I think, too, that if you're going to wear the camouflage that our soldiers wear,
you better be one.
then you...
See how many soldiers are there. See if there's anybody from the military there. Go ahead, sorry.
I think if you're going to do that, then you should also not request vanilla coffee creamer and warm blankets.
That's an interesting point.
Because they don't get that.
So these hardcore, badass, militant, apocalypse-ready patriots have basically sent out for supplies, and one of the supplies they wanted was vanilla coffee creamer.
They had a supply list request of more than 80 items, including... they didn't plan well. That's another thing. They're poor planners. They wanted sleeping bags, warm socks, cigarettes. Cigarettes. While they're on this federal protected land, they need cigarettes, toiletries, food. They didn't pack food. They didn't plan on this. Coffee and French vanilla creamer, to be specific. Not just vanilla.
Doesn't that make them communists or right there?
Yes.
You
couldn't find any military guys in there? Fetus?
I couldn't say. There's no real good information on the other members of the group.
Right.
Other than Bundy. It's just an assortment of people who support Bundy in this group. So
How big is the building they took over?
It's multiple buildings. It's multiple small wildlife buildings on this reserve.
They're abandoned too. They didn't.
Yeah, no one there.
They didn't go in and there wasn't an armed insurgent. They just walked in and went, "Hello, hello."
It's basically a minor inconvenience to the rest of the community that they can't go around there.
And only if you're hiking.
Yeah.
It's only a minor inconvenience if you happen to be on the trail that day, and yet they're playing it up like they've taken over. Again, it's LARPing Ruby Ridge, it's LARPing Waco. I'm tired of it. What I'm tired of is that, isn't it better if we all just go, all right, the country's got problems, it's pretty damn good, let's work on the other problems instead of some bullshit like this. Really, dude, you're not going to leave unless Oregon gives back all the land that 200 years ago was taken from the Indians, and except they have to give the land to the white people that live there. Now, if there's a line of Indians with tickets and they're going to get their little chunk, or 40 acres and a mule from the slavery promise that we never fulfilled, you know what? I made you go join that protest. You know what?
As a woman, I'd like to say that I'm pleased with the advancements that we have made in this country, and I personally would not like to go backwards even 25 years ago.
Please, no.
Thank you. I'm Rachel Bradley, and I support my own message. Actually, there is a lot about, if you look up there about the different people there, one of them, Old Lavoy Finicum.
Right.
Which sounds like a guy that would say 23
Was there a
skidoo.
time machine? Did everyone just come in from the 1890s? Is that what happened?
Lavoy Finicum.
Lavoy Finicum. That boy was good. Him and Honus Wagner used to play when they were kids.
He published a book in August. It's called Only by Blood and Suffering, Regaining Lost Freedom. He could have used some editing even on his title. Holy crap. It's a novel, but it's about the same issues that are currently being raised in Oregon. But the ending of that novel, you want to guess?
The end. It ends with the end.
Right before that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't specify.
What happens?
Not Harper House Collins. It was before all that.
Okay.
It's a page right before.
What is it? What's the end?
Do you want to guess?
Arms insurgent. He gets killed.
That is so weird that you thought automatically that there was going to be a gunfight, a brutal gunfight that a lot of people got killed in.
So I have to ask everybody, if you just get on the mic for a second, let's have a quick talk about this. I have a question. My question is, if there was someone else doing this, if it was American Muslims, wouldn't it be labeled terrorism? At this point, wouldn't these guys be, if it was American Muslims stating that
like
they wanted the
ISIS,
freedom,
for example?
Not even, yeah, but I mean, if they were just holding the land and they were asking for the exact same thing. We want 2 of our people released from prison, and we want all this land given back to the original people. Don't you think they'd be labeled as
There
terrorism?
is a land fight going on over there in the Middle East. It's pretty big.
Is it? I don't know. What's going on over there?
Pretty big.
It's the Raza Strip, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It's named after the rapper? Raza? That's crazy.
I don't know.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty big land thing
Is
with
it?
Israel and all that. Pretty big issue
sugar.
about, sugar. Sugar.
So don't you think they'd be labeled terrorism at this point? They'd be terrorists, right? If they were brown people or dark people, do
There
you
he
think
goes again. Bam.
I'm
Royal
just
flush.
saying. Okay, Ammon Bundy. Do you think he'd be saying, "Nope, those are good Americans fighting for their rights"? Do you think that would happen? It's all theory, but I'm asking.
I think that what makes me most angry about the entire situation is the double standard that the media has. Because
Right.
ABC tweeted that this was a peaceful protest.
No.
But, like that.
Guns.
Like,
What?
where's the National Guard? Like they were
Are you,
in Ferguson.
do those guns
Right.
shoot
About their
unicorn
peaceful
farts?
protest.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, the National Guard.
You fire the weapon and it just goes.
And the other thing is there's
thing comes out the end.
Oh,
says,
that
bang.
is delightful.
No, a stick comes out the yeah.
Unicorn farts.
Yeah,
Those are
it
fabulous.
shoots potpourri. Those guns only shoot
my
potpourri. That's
gosh.
right.
There's almost no media coverage about this happening either, like on CNN and Fox and everything. If you turn them on, they're not really talking about this.
I just had a
because-
brilliant idea.
There's no news though. It's really not news. It's a bunch of rednecks standing around.
True,
a shack.
but they would make it news if it was a minority.
I
group
just
doing
had
it.
a brilliant idea.
Okay.
We should send Fetus,
Undercover.
put boots on the ground. No, not even undercover, although certainly you wouldn't even need to be undercover
interview?
because you right now fit the bill. This whole
flannel.
hairy mountain man thing you have
Yeah,
going
you
on,
put a hat on,
holy
dude.
crap.
Give me cowboy hat, flannel.
Dude,
I do a
wouldn't
redneck
even-
accent pretty good too.
They wouldn't even say
They're
a
in
word to
Oregon.
you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we should send him like a news correspondent, boots on the ground.
Okay, so we're
we'd like to go to Fetus right now on the ground in Oregon.
Yep, they just opened up some more vanilla coffee creamer. Things are getting pretty serious here.
See?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we could
So
patch him in.
Wait, is it a 5-gallon jug of coffee or is it a carafe?
It's about a carafe because they compromised a little bit on the amount that they were given so they could get comfier sleeping bags.
So they're roughing it.
They're roughing it a
in
little.
the coffee area.
Yeah, Chris, they're roughing it a little bit. I think that they're going to raise the demands on their next
More
next
cop
Fetus, more
negotiation.
important, do you see any women around? Are there any women there?
They've dressed one of the guys up like a woman.
Yeah.
So I think that's a result of their isolation.
Are they calling him a hero too?
Oh,
like
he's-
he knows what it's like to be a woman now because he's dressed as a
Jenner.
woman?
Yeah, he's a hero now. I think that's going to get more media coverage than this actual
I
event.
think you're probably
Nothing
right.
like a tranny with a long rifle, and I mean that as a metaphor. Listen, I want to ask: are these guys going to go further and maybe go for hazelnut creamer next time? Is there any rumblings about that?
There seems to be a divide within the group between those who still like the French vanilla creamer and those who want the hazelnut creamer. More on that tonight.
It sounds like
Good job,
thanks,
Fetus.
Fetus.
Great job.
Thanks. That was
Thanks-
Fetus,
thanks for sticking it
correspondent in Oregon at the protest. I will say this: I think that that could split the whole thing. That could break ranks between hazelnut or vanilla coffee creamer.
Hey, Fetus, don't forget that you still have a $3.50 per diem, so go get yourself something to eat. Don't stay out there all night.
There's not a lot of food out here. They've
Okay.
actually made me sleep outside.
Okay, good.
All right, thanks
That's
for tuning in. That was Fetus. Wait, that was good. That was nice correspondence, man. Very nice.
We should send him somewhere.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's what we need. We're going to need you guys to donate to the podcast, or we need some more advertisers.
What do you want? You want more info on ISIS? Because we have someone we can send.
We can send. Who will blend right in with the beard.
I don't know. Do I get okay?
What, you get a $5 per diem.
If I go to the Middle East, I can have at least a $5 per diem.
Yeah, and you don't cut off anybody's head, because even no matter how you get that would what would happen was he'd get indoctrinated. Next thing we know,
Probably.
he'd be the number 2 guy in ISIS, and be like, "What happened? That was our podcast guy."
Probably.
So one more thing, guys. If you want to help us out, go to ChristopherTitus.com, donate to the podcast, or buy one of the many DVDs, and because we got to keep the doors open. Also,
He has
if you're
many
gonna buy
wares for sale.
if you're gonna buy something on Amazon, make ChristopherTitus.com your homepage. We're updating the page for 2016, and then click through the Amazon link. We get a little bit, and it'll keep the funny coming for you for free. We've been doing this for 4 years for free now. Come on, help us out.
That's Christopher Titus. Plug Haymaker number 2.
I'm just trying to get
Also, follow him, for God's sakes, on Twitter at Titus Nation, because like we said, it's a nonstop hilarity.
So that
Join him in his phase 1 of free time and encourage him to stop.
free time is bad for everybody.
Remind him that phase 2 is not pretty for anyone.
You can also follow Rachel Bombshell Bradley at Ray Ray Bradley.
That's true. On
Yeah,
Instagram as well.
And Twitter. And you can follow the farmer at
the Ryan Farmer.
it's Fetus. All right, go back and sit down.
Sure.
That was nice. By the way, nice improv.
He did pretty. He's getting
He
better.
did. You know what it is? I think he's gotten over the fear now of you.
No.
He just shook his
No,
head.
he hasn't.
No, he's not. That can't
We actually
happen.
had someone request that we start doing a video podcast just so they could watch
him
me
react to you.
ruin his life. There are people that enjoy it so much they want to see it happen.
Yeah, and one single tear drops down his face.
So we want to thank Casper.com
Yes.
for bringing this episode to you guys.
I
We
said
love.
single tear, and you bring up the advertiser.
Yeah. I'm a whore when it comes to this
I
stuff.
like it.
Casper.com/Titus. Don't forget to do that /Titus. Use promo code Titus. You get $50 off, which is pretty freaking amazing considering how cheap cost-wise their mattresses are. Their slogan is obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price. I love whoever wrote this.
I think it's a lot of big words.
But obsessive. You had me at obsessive.
Good bed, sleep well. That's what I
Sugar.
would have said. Sugar.
Super
So when I said a single tier, here's what these beds are for me. The memory foam. When we're on the road at these crappy hotels, we do our tours. We come home. We climb into our memory foam bed, and I do shed a single tear.
You
Out of
do,
joy. It's
and you
like-
actually go,
If you want a bed that when you get it, you go, and that's when you're by yourself. That's what you're getting at Casper.
And you don't have to go anywhere to buy it. I think everyone is pretty much aware that I'm a fan of hiding out in the house and having things delivered to me like a hermit. Yeah. They send it to you for free. Fetus's favorite part. Fetus has one now. They send it to you for free. You have a trial. You get to use it for 100 days. If you don't like it, this is what I think is badass. If you don't like it, not only is it made in America, love that, but also you can send it back for free. They don't even charge you to send it back.
Fetus, how many days you into yours now?
About 60-ish.
And you still digging it?
Oh, yeah.
I have to say this. What I'd like to get is I'd like to get video of people opening the box.
Yeah.
Because they compress this sucker down to the smallest thing. It would be so good to get some YouTube video of it just going pap.
Warning, do not open your box on your front step like some of us might have done.
Did you do that?
It explodes.
It's basically like, you know, that the pop and fresh cookie dough thing when you pop it and the biscuits open. That's what it's like. And
It's
we want to get video
crazy
of it.
because you'll get a box and it's not even a very big box. I mean, it's
There's no way there's a bed. This
No
must be
way.
they sent me the pillows.
but it
the
weighs
bed's on its way.
75 pounds. And the UPS guy actually told me, he was like, look, do not open that until you are sure exactly where you want it and then step back. It's pretty amazing technology. They combine latex and memory foam, which I think is what makes it so great. So anyway, risk-free trial and return policy. Go to Casper.com/Titus, promo code Titus, $50 off.
Made in America, because we only take ads from Patriots.
America. Hey, look at how you brought it back around. Look at you.
I know how to do this.
Even better if they were from Oregon, if
That's
this company
true.
were from
Oh,
Oregon.
that'd be great. All right, and now from sea to shining sea, continent to continent, and sometimes space, it's Bombshell Rae bringing you the up-to-date Bombshell news.
And then there is a man, speaking of a patriot, Mike Wolf. He is selling a calendar hair, he calls it, like a calendar, but about his back hair. He got his back hair, because he has copious amounts of it, shaved into pieces of art. This is in Idaho. And this is another cautionary
Wait.
tale about free time.
Yeah. First of all, you can't shave your own back hair into shapes. So, which means he's got people. He has a crew. He had to assemble a crew to actually shave his back hair, which to me is the most disgusting thing in the world. And we have pictures of it online, and it is amazing. And I wish I was part of this. I am so in this guy's crew now. Let's go to the first picture.
He's
Fetus.
got one page in the calendar for October is called Grim Repair.
Let's start at New Year's. He's got he's got New Year's. He's got 2 wine glasses in shaved in hair on his back, and the words New Year.
And Party Blower.
Yeah, and a party. Then we go to February. There's no February.
You've also got, like, for May, there's the...
Oh, you couldn't put up all 12
There's
pictures.
the Mariachi
Oh, no.
for May.
From
Mariachi band. So here's what happened. This guy, Mike Wolf, 35, from Nampa, Idaho, he said after years of feeling ashamed of his body hair,
Sasquatch.
he asked a friend, and this is a cautionary tale also against how men with each other can be the biggest a-holes.
Yeah.
He asked his friend, expressed his shame, went to his friend and said, what should I do? I don't know. And his friend, who's a graphic artist, said, hey, man, why don't we just put a American flag on your back in hair rather than you going back and getting waxed or shaved, because I know that's painful for you. And that was the start of something.
Right. And they've been dating how long?
Yeah, well, exactly.
It's amazing. So at the beginning of the story, I thought, oh, my God, this is disgusting. And as I see in one, he's got a football shaved in his back with a goalpost. Another one, he's got a cityscape. He's got is that a Mickey Mouse? What is that?
It's the Easter Bunny, man.
The Easter Bunny shaved in his back. So if this guy is growing this much hair month to month, I understand that some of these pictures from the Northwest were not Sasquatch. They were actually this guy just walking in his field with the shirt off. Amazing.
He's art.
I now he's making me wish that I grew back hair like that.
This actually would have been a better story for when we do the other ad that we do a lot. Just saying.
Oh, we should. You started it.
Wisconsin man throws beer bottle at bartender for changing the jukebox from Black Sabbath to Christmas music. Yeah.
Totally valid.
Speaking of Wisconsin,
What?
holy crap. We like Wisconsin. We're going to be there next Friday.
Right.
We're going to be in Milwaukee
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
on the 15th.
New show, Born with a Defect.
We're going to be in Grand Rapids on the 14th.
Right.
The Thursday at the Welty Theater. And then the Saturday, we're going to be back in Minneapolis at the Pantages Theater on the 16th. However, speaking of Wisconsin and mugshots, we were having a party the other night. We had some friends over. I may have had a little too much wine. My brother,
we
out
had
of the
family.
blue, we had family. My brother, out of the blue, says, hey, do you ever Google your exes and find a happy surprise? And it's a news story link to a psychotic girl that he used to date that was horrible to me
Tell me
in
the story
Wisconsin.
about this girl, because I remember I was drinking also. My sister was in from Sweden and her husband, and we had the best time. It was one of the few
awesome.
times where however I felt the next morning was entirely worth
Worth it. Yeah, totally. Your
So-
sister is a trip.
So all of a sudden the phone rings.
Your sister makes you and I look like we're repressed.
That's true. The phone goes, brrrt, and Ray checks her phone, and
And I
Agent
start
Pink's-
going,
Yeah, Agent Big Squatchy. The noise was annoying. And the Agent Big Squatchy has sent a picture of this woman, and I looked at the woman, and it looks like one of your normal stories of the white trash, crystal meth, psycho.
Broke into
Florida
this
person.
guy's house twice and stabbed him. But the stab story, I read it when I was sober the next day. I've probably read it like 78 times since then because, sweet revenge.
Yeah, and you know what? The dancing is getting annoying.
Oh,
The dancing and,
sweet.
and the constant
revenge.
high-fiving yourself is weird.
It's not going to stop. Christmas came late this year, but was it stupendous. Yeah, anyway, so the way that she stabbed the guy, though, was she broke her hand through the door and was wildly slashing the knife around and then caught him in the forearm.
So she basically went total Stephen King, The Shining on the dude.
Which I called. I totally called years ago.
Took the knife, chopped a hole in the door with a kitchen knife, and then while the guy was trying to hold the door shut, stabbed him repeatedly. Because he was breaking up with her.
Yes, he was trying. Well, he was trying. Now that she's in jail, probably it's easier.
Yeah,
free time now.
Yeah. But he's still going to have to
time to find himself.
Going to have to deal with the letters.
She'll get out soon.
Wow.
She's committed, trust me.
And your brother dated this woman.
This woman was still calling my place of business as of like 6 years ago or something.
Your brother, who I love dearly, there's a dark side of him that attracts. Like, of course, then again, who I was married to, I'm fine. I get it.
He's totally thinking right now, who are you talking about?
I get it.
Who are you talking about?
I have a history, but I ended up with you, so we're good.
Right.
Ended up with you so far.
Right.
Until you change your mind.
Till I stab you through the door. Anyway, Wisconsin man throws beer bottle at bartender. Love this guy. I mean, no, I don't love this guy. I love the guy that changed the music. It's Christmas
time. I love
time.
the other guy.
I know, and that's why I think Ashley Cashman sent this story in, our douche correspondent.
I'm the other guy. I'm like,
because I would be the one changing the music to the Christmas music or to the Hallmark Christmas movie, even in January.
And you would actually hear my eyes roll. You would hear my eyes go,
hey,
are we really going to do this?
Wee.
We've actually been listening. Okay, just people here. I want you to know how my holiday season goes, and it's fine. It's sweet. It's great.
Fine.
But it's like eating too much frosting.
It's not.
It is.
There's
the
no
first
such
couple
thing.
bites of frosting are fine.
Probably
the
not.
95th bite of frosting,
Pretty
you're gonna puke.
Nope.
No, you're gonna puke.
Gonna love it.
So since early October, Hallmark has been running their Christmas movies.
No way, man. They started in July.
Okay, they did.
First we had
Christmas
Mix in July.
They did a week, but it was early October. It started going hardcore. Now we get to spend time with Grandma. Yeah, I like that Hallmark. All those men on the Hallmark, they're cute.
She's the reason I watch those.
And man, in my house for 3 months has been constant Hallmark movies, and they're all the same movie. They're the same movie.
Formulaic.
Guy upset about his life. Something happened in his past. You don't know what. It's kind of dark. Girl who kind of likes him. She works with him. Interested. Sends him something. He always works at the radio station or is a businessman who runs some buildings, and he's not happy. And his dog died or his dad died 10 Christmases ago. And
he doesn't like Christmas anymore.
He hates Christmas. Oh, by the way, always somebody in it has to hate Christmas. And then, by the end, they're going to love Christmas or they're going to get their Christmas thing back and blah, blah, blah. And after the 35th one, I used to watch. And here's the thing. I don't want to be a Grinch.
You do.
But you created it.
You probably do.
Nope. You created it. I was
think we
so
all know you
pro. Fetus is giving me a look right now that looks like the Grinch.
Yeah, I think we all know that he does want to be the Grinch. He's nodding. Fetus calls you Old Man Johnson, right? Isn't that it?
Get off my land!
That's you. 100%. You are Old Man
anymore.
Grinch.
No. I have been. Listen, it's
Mr. Who Stole Christmas.
I will tell you this: constant Hallmark movies.
Welcome to the party.
Constant Hallmark movies is psychological waterboarding. It really is. It just continues and doesn't stop. I love Christmas as much as anybody, up until it is used as a suppository and rammed into me. There you go. I'm Christopher Titus, and I can't wait for Halloween.
Ram that suppository. No, here's my opinion, if I'm allowed to have one, Mr.
Of course you are.
Who Stole Christmas.
All right, guys, we got to go. That was a Titus podcast.
I feel a little bit like, things are a little complex in my life right now.
Agreed.
I will say complex to be kind.
To everyone involved.
I grandma introduced me to these movies where everything works out fine and people bake cookies with their mom, and their mom is always like, she's Shelley Long, and even though she weighs like 250 pounds and she's severely bloated, which makes me a little bit sad, but still, they bake cookies together, and then they share the love of something that's bigger than they are, and everything is beautifully lit, and everybody's airbrushed, and then at the end, everything comes back together. The dog is resurrected like Lazarus or whatever, and they all hug and sing.
Christmas Day. I know.
See? And there's a beginning, middle, and an end, and it's safe and comforting.
And it's over. And there's no problems the next day because it's over. In fact, another movie starts, so you get to live it again.
What? I get to live it again? Yes.
I get it. To me, a perfect Christmas movie is Training Day. That's a really good Christmas movie. Reservoir Dogs is a good Christmas movie.
Die Hard, baby.
Die Hard. Any of the Die Hard movies, great Christmas movie.
It's hard for me to watch Die Hard and not feel sad for him and his hairline. But,
by the way, it's hard for him to watch and not feel sad.
I will say this. On the other side of that, my all-time favorite television show, it's knocking. It is tapping on the door of Breaking Bad, is the Nick. Holy crap. Every 10 minutes is like a season finale where you're sitting there like going, no way did that just happen.
Okay. All right. It was good. I would admit.
Bro, you don't even get to talk about this. No. Nay.
I'm sorry. You invoked the name of
No.
Breaking Bad. You did. You laid it down. You were like, the Messiah. There's this also guy who's also the Messiah. No.
Hey, even the Messiah had a son.
Yeah. You know what, though? But he needed his dad to actually put him in context, and Dad puts him in context.
Just saying.
By the way, I created everything from the universe, blah blah blah. You get to go hang on the cross and die in 3 days. There you go.
I'm not
different.
I'm
not saying it wasn't cool. I'm just saying
Look,
it wasn't God.
I am not big on public displays of affection, like overt, but I would dry hump the Nick in my grandmother's bed in front of her. That's how good this show is.
I disagree with that. You won't even dry hump me in your grandmother's bed.
Well, I think I did, actually.
That's true. That is true.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for letting us use your bed. We'll be back next year.
The guest room is amazing.
It was
Is that a Casper's mattress? Because it was phenomenal.
Just the right sink, just the right bounce. But the mattress was excellent, too. Ryan's uncomfortable.
Bad stuff. Talking about bad stuff.
I think we can move on to a different story now. I think we covered that one. I don't think we covered it at all, and yet we covered it. Speeding Pennsylvania man has had his license suspended 88 times. I think Ashley probably sent this in for you, too.
How old is that dude? I haven't had a ticket in 4 years.
43.
I have not had a ticket in 4 years.
How many times have you been pulled over in those 4 years?
He has 88 suspensions on his New York State license on 25 different occasions after trying to dodge traffic tickets, etc.
Wow.
How do you
how come you're not dead? Shouldn't there be a level of traffic violation or suspended license that there's a death penalty clause? If you get your license suspended 20 times, you're on death row. Sorry, because eventually you're going to kill somebody. Yeah,
It's okay.
In a cell next to Ammon Bundy. What are you in for? I can't read. Well, I can't read the Constitution.
A drunk driving video on Facebook, Columbus, Ohio. We love that place. It's an Ohio man. He took a cell phone video of himself drinking whilst driving, posted it on Facebook.
Oh, no.
Where police also have a presence. And they found him and arrested him because they have proof, because there's a video that he posted. It's not even hearsay. It's him going, I'm drunk and I'm driving.
What is your defense in that? Is your defense like, no, you can't post it. It's my personal video. It's inadmissible. No, it's actually everybody's video because you posted it, you dumbass. See, you know where he was on his way to? Oh my God, Fetus has the picture. There's a guy slamming beer on video. Now,
and then he flips off the.
Can you tell it's beer though? Because I actually went into total defense mode. You can't tell it's a beer bottle. It's actually covered. It's like a beer cozy on it. So you can't. So he could say, "Well, it's not beer. I was just saying it."
Him saying that he's drunk. The part at the end where the camera flips around and he's just flipping off. No, nothing.
If the beer's covered, if you can't prove that it was alcohol, then he's off. It's hearsay. He was just doing a stupid video. Here it is, guys. Nope, you can't tell what it is. can't tell what it is. He's actually
Looks like Crown Royal.
What did his post say?
he's drinking Crown Royal out of the bottle while
Yeah,
he's driving.
go back
Wow.
because I think isn't that the bag that comes with Crown? And then he flips off the camera.
All right, so here's what I have to.
Oh
tell
yeah,
you.
he's drinking liquor. He is. It's
Oh.
not a beer. That's what the bag is. It's the liquor bottle bag. That's funny. He's super awesome.
Well, I'm glad. By the way,
I have a friend that would date him.
to all you stupid people out there, really intensely, obviously retarded people out there, do me a favor, keep videotaping yourself do stupid things because eventually we're just going to fill the prisons up with you people and let the basically non-felony drug offenses go. Someone who got busted for smoking a joint. They're all stupid. What are we doing? Just
Plus, cops have been working way too hard. They've had to
Build
investigate, try and find evidence.
right.
Just a
keep
way to cut to
filming.
the chase.
Keep filming it. Can I
Cut
help?
to the chase.
Do your part as an American,
And then post it publicly.
Film your stupidity and then post it.
Tag
There
the
you go.
cops in it. Millions of prayers, speaking about social media, go out to a dog who was afflicted. A man posted a picture of his dog. It is the cutest picture ever.
Right.
If you know what it is. Otherwise, it does look kind of freaky. He puts a square of sandwich ham on his dog's face. And then he says it's a deli meat, piece
Right.
of deli meat on his face. The picture, he's kidding. The guy was just making a joke.
Right.
And it says, this dog has been badly burned and disfigured trying to save his family from a house fire. And it's a funny, hey, he's
Right.
got ham on his face. People, it spread like wildfire. It is all over, like hundreds of thousands of response. Look, people, Fetus, post that on the Titus podcast page on Facebook. You can't?
I'm not an admin. I don't know the password to that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
but
know.
you can post it as you.
Oh, I can do it as me.
And it's just a dog with a piece of ham. But people
Did you
all
just tell
over-
him how to post stuff? Did you tell the guy that we pay to post stuff how to
Yeah,
post
he's-
stuff? How long has he been working for us? That's insane. Just shut up and post.
So people have been praying for the dog with ham on its face.
Because, by the way, it's weird. We just saw the picture. The color is kind of like the color of his fur.
Yeah.
So it looks like the dog was horribly burned and his eyes were taken out or whatever. And people didn't we give him money? They didn't give any money? That's hilarious.
Pretty awesome.
This dog has ham.
Dear God, please pray for the dog with ham. His owner is an asshole.
The dog knew he was getting the ham, so he's like, all right, I'll take the picture. Let's do this.
Cute little dog. This is my favorite. I'm going to close with my favorite story.
All right.
Hoverboarding priest suspended after rolling Christmas Eve Mass. The priest has said that this is a wake-up call for him. It's a Catholic priest has been suspended after riding a hoverboard during Christmas Eve Mass. I think people are kind of addicted to these things. And
Was he wearing the robes?
Yes. Yeah, I have
'Cause if
video.
you-
Actually, Fetus,
Do you
pull
know
up the
how
video.
wicked cool that would be? You
and,
got the
and the
robes to
hoverboard's lit up.
But no, you got the robes to the floor over the hoverboard, and you're the priest, and you look like something out of like a Stephen King novel. You're just kind of going, oh, hey, oh, and you look like you're floating down the aisle. Come on!
Well,
that
you got to
dude-
get longer robes.
Yeah,
That's his
that-
problem.
That dude is badass.
The video, if you watch it, shows the priest in a white cassock gliding up and down the church's aisles on this two-wheeled electric scooter, which was lit up while he's singing a Christmas song.
And people are applauding.
They're applauding. However,
he in
someone
trouble?
videoed it. The diocese took an issue with it, obviously. They actually issued a statement from the diocese.
Wow. But if they were actually torturing people to basically convert them to Christianity,
I like this guy.
They'd be fun. I like this guy a lot. This guy should have said. This guy should have said, "Suck it." My church thought I was cool, and all the kids thought I was cool, and I just brought more people to church. You idiots!
Well, that's what I don't understand. Like the guy that the preacher where I go to church, he's very young and he's hip, and he'll tell people on the Bible app, go to, it's like he's
Right.
always talking about apps or some concert that he went to, and it's like it just makes it universal.
He's doing 360s. He's doing 360s.
He's singing. If you turn up the volume, he's singing a Christmas carol while he's doing that.
That's insane.
Super awesome.
That-
Anyway, they can't hear it, so I didn't mean to do it right now because they can't hear it and they're wondering why we're just sitting here silently.
I like that he's just rolling around. So this priest, here's where we have a problem with religion, and not just the Muslim religions that we're mad about in the Middle East, but every religion. The rules are so, because just so you know, if you know anything about Jesus and you read Jesus would have thought that was pretty cool. Jesus would have been, hey, dude, whatever works. If you're going to bring more people to the church and be fun, you're having joy on Christmas, good for you. Doesn't joy on Christmas sound like what you're supposed to do? So this guy did something really funny. People are
I wouldn't know. I get yelled at a lot about my movies.
yes, people. Okay, there's a joy limit. Let's just say there's a joy limit.
You said it was a suppository rammed in your asshole.
That's not what I did. You said that.
Made me sad.
I said it nicer than that.
I don't think you did. Play it back.
What bothers me about religion will always lay down some rules that kill fun.
No.
Yes, that's
No.
a lot of times.
It's not religion that lays down rules that kill fun. It's establishment. It's
right. It's the bureaucracy.
organized
the bureaucracy
of
a
religion.
There you go.
Right.
Good. So do we all agree that there should be no bureaucracy in religion, that you should believe what you believe as long as you're not hurting anyone
I
else?
believe. I'm actually going to take a stand right here and right now.
Go for it.
Hoverboards belong in religion.
Hallelujah. I
Praise
believe
God.
it. And I will ride my gyroscopic board through this church. I will let people know that the Lord floats upon the clouds. As I float down this aisle, I am not saying I'm the Lord, but I am living like the Lord lives. I am being as the Lord bees. I will continue to hoverboard like the Lord wanted. Amen.
I was trying to get organ music up and I couldn't.
Not fast enough. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We are going to be on tour next week. Where are we going to be?
We're going to be in Grand Rapids on Thursday the 14th at the Wealthy Theater.
Close
on
to selling that
Friday,
out, actually.
Milwaukee Vogel Hall, Friday the 15th. And on Saturday, Pantages Theater in Minneapolis on the 16th.
Minneapolis is close to sold out, as is...
They might be, I don't, because over the weekend, but yeah, they was moving.
As is Grand Rapids. So
As
Milwaukee.
is Milwaukee.
We got some stuff in Milwaukee. Yeah, it's closer, but not as close. Go to Milwaukee, guys. It's going to be a great show. The new show, over the holidays, we did to Tempe Improv. Great club, man. Such a great club.
We had fun.
I have to tell you, Bombshell broke in some new material.
I did.
It's the best I've ever seen you perform. You were so good. And actually, here's how good it was, guys. I'm waiting backstage, and I hear she wrapping up. She put this new bit about her grandma in and called it back to something earlier, and the audience went nuts. And it was the first time I heard her get a crazy, like it was a headliner exit applause. And I went on stage with a little bit of Australia under my armpits, a little bit of wet spot. Like,
Oh, I always go on stage with a wet spot. I booked a headlining.
yeah, but that's because you're married to me. Boom!
What?
You heard me.
I meant armpits, you weirdo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Or
never
did
think.
I? Oh, switcherooski. I booked a headlining gig
Where?
at Claremont it is in Claremont.
Claremont
Claremont
Flappers?
is the location.
Claremont
Flappers.
Flappers?
Like what we have here, Flappers in Burbank. I booked with Flappers in Claremont.
You're doing 2 shows Friday, or 1 show Friday, 2 shows
No,
Saturday?
I got to do 2 shows Friday. I thought it was 1, but there's a late show Friday.
Oh, so when is that?
It's in March.
Good March, guys. Get tickets.
You
early.
guys got to come out and
It's
support.
a smaller club. Let's support Bombshell on her first headlining gig, which means you get to see her.
What?
Instead of doing 15 to 25 minutes like I let her do, she's going to be doing an hour, bitches.
Working on my special, trying to do it all at once to see how it flows. However, everyone, if you're coming, you should buy tickets to all the shows and laugh just as loudly every time.
If you buy tickets to all the shows, you have the rights to give her notes.
No, wait. Love notes, though.
Yeah, love notes. All right, guys. So go see us on the theater tour. What's after that? I go to Tommy T's after that, yeah?
I don't know. What's after that, Fetus?
You should know that. You should know that. Being in charge of part of this, you should know that.
I'm not in charge of the calendar anymore. You got a little
Feedy pie?
feedy pie over there, and that's what he does. He updates the dates on the website.
Well, sometimes.
I know that we are in Houston.
Sometimes he also flies back from vacation whenever he wants.
He does.
Yeah,
he definitely does that.
That was kind of nice.
So we are going to be at the Houston Improv. Oh, yeah, Tommy T's is not up there. Tommy T's is the weekend after that in Pleasanton. So this is his North California revisit. And then Houston Improv is going to be the last weekend of January.
22nd and 23rd at Tommy T's, right?
It's the Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
Is it the 22nd?
22nd and 23rd.
So we need to put that up. Tommy T's 22nd and 23rd in Pleasanton, California.
You're finally, because you didn't do San Jose this year, so those are all your NorCal peeps.
29th, 31st, Houston Improv. 4th through the 6th of February, the Irvine Improv. On the 11th of February.
Back in Wichita, that cool place, Crown Uptown Theater. That was such a cool little
the
spot.
12th, the Rococo Theater. And then...
We love the Rococo in Lincoln, Nebraska.
That next week, we start filming Special Unit, guys.
That's correct.
Special Unit, guys. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I'm scared. Excited. I'm not scared. I'm excited. It feels
scared
like,
feels a lot like excited,
Except
but
with a
one
smile.
is negative and one is not.
Yeah. Excited is just scared with a smile.
One empowers you and one disables you.
Thank you for clearing that up in my life. Fetus, did you hear that? He's nodding. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for the Titus podcast. We're back. 2016 is going to kick ass for all of us.
We're back.
except for Ammon Bundy, and I don't think there's going to be an armed insurgence. So I think our government has decided you can't kill white people and get away with it.
Tune in next week to find out what happens to Ammon Bundy.
And put your number down on when Titus pulls the race card on the Titus podcast.
Oh, everybody's going to win that pool.
I'm Christopher Titus. For myself, Bombshell Rae, and the fetus. Later.
Peace out.
See ya.
That wasn't right. You're out of practice. Try
I'm
again.
Christopher Titus. Thanks. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Titus podcast. Later.
Peace out.
See ya.
See, it's still not right. It's timing. It's all about timing. Everything is timing.
There's also no joy in it. Like, you're
Right?
tired.
It's wrong. He's annoyed.
And this is the Titus podcast. Later.
Peace out.
See ya.
Do you accept?
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna let it go because I'm not doing it again. But we need to. We're having a meeting tomorrow.
How about see ya? Right?
See ya. That's how it should go.
See ya.